Here on that's going well. Give me one quick second. YouTube, are you streaming? Let's see. Yes. Okay, perfect. So here we go. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday already. Today I had to start a little late for the inside only because I was taking a class that kind of ran over. So here I am back at it for today. And today we're going to do something different. Yesterday I kind of talked about health and fitness and we did some research on some articles out there. Today I'm actually going to start looking at a specific program called L.I.T. And the only reason I'm doing that is I'm very open to a lot of different things. So I go do some research and I kind of look for three things. Does it, and you'll probably hear me say this all the time, does it resonate with me? Does it resist something within me? Or does it persist? And L.I.T has been this persistent thing that keeps jumping up in my mind. And I kind of I'm interested in it because I've heard of HIT, but as I was doing some research on HIT, I found something called L.I.T, and I'm like, okay, well, let's learn about that because maybe this is something cool to add or do instead of whatever else I'm doing, and maybe I can modify it to fit me. And I don't, for this video, or for this talk, if you're on Wisdom right now, I'm streaming on YouTube so that you can actually see me going through the websites and everything and how I do my research. So it's kind of like twofold here. But what I want you to get from this is not necessarily is L.I.T good for you or not, because I'm not here to determine that. What I'm here to determine is L.I.T good for me, and I'm trying to take you on the inside of how I go about analyzing different things and trying to figure out, is this something I should do? Is this something I should use or incorporate? And the method is more what we should probably be looking at. But if you are here on Wisdom, please feel free to jump up and share, because part of the research is I'll give you an outline. I kind of look for 3 to 5 articles on the topic, and then I also look at a few videos to kind of see what is it about, because sometimes what I find is that people like to redefine what's already out there, and so they'll just spin it to make it the new trend, a new way of calling things, but maybe L.I.T already existed. But one of the things that I also like to do is talk around to those who have done it, so that by the end, I've read 3 to 5 articles, I've done some research by videos, maybe 3, and then by talking to individuals about their experiences with L.I.T, how they understand it works. At the end, I'm going to be starting to select things and saying, okay, would L.I.T fit my mindset at this moment in time? I kind of have a checklist. Does it fit my mindset, or do I have to do more work on it to take it in and use it? And then the second part is it right for me in this season of time? Sometimes things look good, but they just don't fit my current lifestyle. So I need something to fit that, or can I adapt it to my lifestyle? And then, is it going to take me to the goals that I want? At the end of the day, where does it fit in with my goals? And if I can find a place for it, then I will accept it. So I'm a firm believer that things come into our lives for a reason. And so because L.I.T has come to my mind quite often, it's, for me, the world is saying, hey, you should take a look at this. I'm not sure why. It's knocking on the door of my brain. I don't know why, but it's something I need to look at. And so today is the day. I'm going to go do some research on L.I.T. But because why I call this the inside is because I also want to share my journey on health and fitness. So you kind of see where my mindset is, where I'm going. So I already talked about this Saturday that I'm going to be doing, going to a birthday party. And I've already decided that I'm going to have cake and ice cream. So I've been making the choices that lead me up to making sure that, you know, I'm eating that cake and ice cream without any reservations. So eating healthy um, to the birthday party is important. And so that's where I'm at right now. Today was no different. I did the morning fast. Today, at lunch, I had a nice full salad. I mean, it was a big plate of salad. I didn't drown it in salad dressing. Actually, I just poured over a little olive oil and added a little salt. But you know what keeps persisting in my mind here in this world of eating is marinades and spices. I really want to get into a number of marinades and spices because that's going to mix it up. I started thinking, like, as I was eating things, like, I kind of eat the same things over and over again. Have you noticed that as well? Like, I eat, you know, salmon, shrimp, I eat eggs, I eat seitan, what is it, the corn, ground beef. So I mix in all these things, but I kind of circle around them in tuna. I kind of circle around those main ones all the time, and then I add in fruits and vegetables and some nuts. But I've been staying away from pastas and grains currently. Not sure why. I just have, and I'll probably get back into that a little bit later. But right now, that's what I'm circling around, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, it's kind of getting boring to eat. Like at the end of the night when I have my final meal, I'm kind of like, that's it. So I'm thinking of like trying to maybe take a spice lesson or something that will help me to learn how to mix spices and get the most out of foods, because at the end of the day, I don't think I'm going to do much different with the foods that I have. Like, I'm not going to add more things to it or take away. So how can I spice up or use marinades and sauces? Because I was also thinking that would save me time, right? Because usually when I meal prep, I used to try to do it on Fridays, but it was like I was cooking all these different things and it was kind of a pain. So, what I'm trying to do now is, or thinking of doing now, is creating like maybe 5 different spices and maybe 3 different marinades or something like that. Those are easier to prepare and I could just do them. And then when I need to go cook whatever it is that I want to cook, then I can just mix up the different marinades and try and experiment and do that. And the thing I like about it, I don't know, I'm not sure if I talked to anybody about this one, but one of my whys, my biggest whys in life is boredom. I don't like to be bored. So one of the things that makes me interested in spices and marinades is that you can do, like, the combinations are almost limitless, and even to the point where even fine tuning like the ratios would be interesting for me. So I think there's enough there for me personally that and this is why I always say, like, I should have said, even for lit, does this fit my personality? Will it keep me entertained, or is it going to make me bored very quickly? My why is a factor in when I'm trying to decide whether or not something fits my life. So and that's part of my research. And so again, I implore you that you come up with your checklist for things. Like for me, it's is it going to put me in the right mindset? Does it fulfill my why? Is it going to be right for the season that I'm in? And is it going to help me achieve my goals? If it does that, then I'm pretty much sold on what that is going. Or can I take whatever program, or if I look at the Lit program for today, is it going, can I change it so that it does meet those criteria, right? I don't have to be so yes or no about it. I can just go in and just say, okay, I like this part. This part resonates with me. I think I could use that. This part just does not fit me right now, but it's pretty cool. So I'm going to put that in my waiting area, because later, if my life gets, let's say, more free, then I'm probably going to add this in because I'm interested in it. So this is how I process things. And so yeah, so I've been thinking about spices and maybe taking a spice or marinade class, or just doing some research online to figure out what are the things that I need. So one of the biggest things I did already for the first step, an action item, was to go out there and find what are the top spices and herbs that I need in order to get started on this journey of learning how to spice up my food. Because I can tell you one thing, for me personally, I'm not saying this is for you, but once I start getting bored with food, then I start exploring because I'm not creating and controlling, which then could lead, and this is based on my past. Um, if I get bored with food, then I'm probably going to start seeking things that are probably unhealthy. When I go out because I'm bored with my food, I'm going to say, ooh, I'm at a restaurant. Let me go get this nasty thing, right? So that's just the way I operate. And I know that about myself. So to protect myself going forward, I've done a lot of different things with my food as far as the way the types of foods I eat, and when I eat and all that stuff. So that's kept me pretty entertained, but I'm getting actually bored with the food itself. So I need to spice it up, literally. So that's where I'm at right now with all this. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at on my journey. So this spice and marinade thing has been very persistent, and it seems like it resonates with me. So I'm going to try to take a look at it. Yeah, I'm a little, to be honest, I'm intrigued by this concept of lit, although I'm kind of resistant to it. It almost seems, I don't know enough about it, but a part of me was like a mixed batch. Like, I was like, ooh, this sounds pretty cool, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about it. So let's dive in, right? That's what today's about. So typically what I do, as I said earlier, and again, if you're on Wisdom, actually, let me switch this over for YouTube. You can go on YouTube and follow along with me live. I'm broadcasting my computer, so you can actually watch what I'm doing to go through. You can see at the bottom some of the things that I've been trying to research here to figure out some good recipe ideas because I'm starting to get that boredom, and I'm recognizing that. So anyways, yeah, so you can follow along with what I'm doing if you can. If not, I'll explain what I'm doing. So I just go to Google. Google's my home base that I do everything in. So I'm just gonna type what is L.I.T lit workouts. Here we go, lit workout. And I passed the ads. I automatically passed the ads. And so people.com is the first one that came up. And that's how I do it. I just go to the first ones. We tried it, people. That's their title. It says lit method. We tried it dash people. Okay, let's see what you tried. What is the lit method? And of course, again, if you're on Wisdom, the advantage you have here is if you know something about lit, feel free to jump up here and give us your experience with it as well. This is part of the whole journey here. Because if you don't jump up, I'm gonna go to my community and start asking people as well. So let's see, the LIT method. It stands for low impact training. Okay, so mixes up cardio on a rowing machine with a mat work and resistant band training for a 50-minute total body workout. So low impact training, L.I.T, pretty easy there. Level of difficulty, ooh, okay. They said who did it, Gabriella Olia. She said on a scale of 1 to 10, the difficulty is 7. Okay. I kind of like difficulty because it kind of makes it a challenge, right? And it seems like it's not too high of a challenge. The workout is intense, but you do everything at your own pace. So people of all fitness levels can do the class. Okay, so the first two things that I noticed that kind of, or the one thing that resists against me is 50 minutes. I don't know about you, but I don't have 50 minutes in my day. So there's definitely going to have to be a modification to this in order for it to work. Does it fit my why? The boredom right there, scale 1 to 7. I'm not sure what she considers a 7. That's kind of, loose. So but I'm going to believe her and say, yes, okay, a 7's pretty intriguing to me. To be honest, when I heard the phrase low impact, I assumed the class would be low intensity, but I was wrong. I should have made the, okay, I skim, just to let you know, I skim through things because I don't need to know the whole backstory. Okay, so this is a typical workout where she began the class with a warm up with the rowing machine. I don't have a rowing machine, so that's kind of alternating between steady rows and sprints. We then moved to the mat area to do an arm exercise and squats with resistance bands. Okay, so I would need resistance bands. I do happen to have resistance bands, but if you in your life didn't have them and didn't feel like ordering them, that might be a little turnoff. But resistance bands. So I have resistance bands. I can do arm exercises. I'm not broken, and I can do squats. Throughout the 50 minutes, we switch back and forth between rowing, mat work, which include planks. Okay, so now we're getting more detailed. I like this. Planks, mountain climbers, lunges with resistant bands, and crunches. Okay, so nothing new here. This is what I love about all these programs. Like we try to, this is what I was talking about earlier. We kind of like take everything, mix it up, throw a new name on it, and call it, something else and start a new trend. So, I mean, we do planks, we do mountain climbers. Like there's not a new exercise here, but that's okay. But these are things that I can do. But where's the challenge? I think the challenge is going to be in the time, right? If I'm already doing planks and mountain climbers and lunges, it looks like time is going to be the one. During the class, an assistant walked around and made sure, okay, so that was her experience in a class. The class ended with a cool down and recovery using a foam roller. I love foam rollers. I'm a big advocate of foam rolling because, man, especially as I get older, it takes more time for me to stretch out the legs or get those kinks out of the legs and the rest of my body. So foam rolling is pretty cool. And I actually do it as a warm up and a cool down, especially when I go running. So it's like my go-to with stretching. So, okay, so that was one person's experience. They have another article down here. What's their verdict? Okay, let's jump down to what they say. This class was different from any other workout I've taken before, which I loved. I kind of hesitate with that because I've done lunges and all those things. So what makes it, because it was low impact, those exercises were always low impact. And I'm not picking on the person. I'm I really want to get to the crux of this because, when we're trying to do things, we're trying to figure out whether this stuff is good for us. We don't need all the, I don't know what, I don't want to put this person down, but so far, I agree, but I don't agree. I didn't experience the joint pain sometimes I do after a run. Okay, so for this person, they were getting the cardio workout that they would feel during a run, but they don't get the pain. I personally don't get pain when I run. So this is sort of, it seems like a good cross-training program, right? So far, just based on one article. Now I got to go to another article. I was already sore by the time I got home. Okay, so it's working muscles that this person probably didn't use before. So if you've been doing planks and things like that, I don't have a row machine. So in order for me to do this, I'm not going to go order one. I would have to stick with the basics of the mountain climbers and things like that, which I already do. So my muscles probably won't be sore unless I picked up the intensity. But so now the low intensity, my first impression when I heard that was that it, just like this person, it was going to be not that hard and somehow I was going to get huge benefits from it. But the low intensity is actually the impact on the body. So that's what, at least this article. Let's see what another article says. Come on. My web browser is a little slow. Okay, here we go. Litmethod.com. So this article here or web page is specifically for lit, and I'm already turned off on it because they want to sell me. Not that they want to sell me. I shouldn't say that. I love to buy stuff that actually would work for me, but the first thing that comes up is not what L.I.T is. It's just this big machine to do different exercises. So a small home gym. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna skip that one. That one wasn't really a good one. I was really excited. I was like, ooh, the litmethod.com. Nope. So they come up again for classes. The dailyburn.com. All right, let's see. Daily Burn, the ultimate low impact workout that will make you sweat. Okay. All right. Let's see what they have to say. Don't get us wrong. We're big fans of high intensity training and running. Whoa, they already talked to my heart, right? Boom. But what happens when you're recovering from an injury? Ooh, I love this because I coach people running and I love to have different things to do for them when they're injured. Planks might be okay. Mountain climbers might be bad because you are putting a lot of pressure on those ankles. So, yeah, okay. And we want to take it easy on those burpees and sprints. Oh, and want to take it easy on those burpees and sprints. Fitness trainers, blah, blah, blah. We would get our clients ready to go all of a sudden. Let me get to the heart of this here. You can turn up the intensity of your workout without putting strain on your joints. Okay, so I'm hearing a theme here. And this is good because I want themes. I want to understand what is the theme going through this subject, because that's true, right? When people start spinning all this different stuff, I call that fluff and noise, and I just want to get to the heart of things, and I want to know, okay, what is everybody saying is true? All this other stuff could be subjective. Let's see. The L.I.T method involves using a rowing machine for cardio. So again, the rowing machine is coming up. And then resistance band for strength training and foam rolling. Boom. So it seems like there's these three things that make up a L.I.T program so far based on two studies or two articles or whatever you want to call it, web pages I'm looking at here. Low impact doesn't mean low intensity. The class is no joke. An average person burns 600 to 1,000 calories in a 50-minute session. So again, 50 minutes. The workout that is set in a 72-degree room. So you see how people start adding all these things in. 72 degrees room. Now we're getting a little specific. You know what resonates with me on this though? 72 degrees is my perfect temperature. I feel that it's cold anything below 72 degrees personally. So the fact that 72 degrees popped out here, I'm feeling a lot of resonance with this article, like boom. But do you see how like this might resonate a lot with me? But if you're listening to this or seeing this, you might be resisting this. So I'm kind of torn right now because there's no way I'm going out there and buying a rowing machine unless the world. Now here's the thing. So rowing machine is causing me a lot of resistance. Now, if the world throws at me a free rowing machine somehow, guess what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start doing L.I.T workouts here, but I'm not going to do it for 50 minutes. I'm sorry. I just don't have 50 minutes in my day right now. And maybe what's going to happen, I can almost guarantee what's going to happen here, is that, and I can almost stop at this point in time. I don't need to go any further. I'm going to park this. I'm based on what I'm seeing here, I have enough resonance here, but I'm going to park it and see what else life is going to send my way about L.I.T programs. Because here's what I think is going to happen if I understand this correctly. The world is going to show me a lot of rowing machines. Now, it's almost like when you go driving a car, right? You buy a car, now all of a sudden everybody has that same car. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen to me here. All of a sudden, I'm going to, like, now that I'm looking this up, Google's got some algorithm out there, and Siri or whomever, oh, she's going to jump up, isn't she, is going to be like, hey, I know what you're looking for, and it's going to start sending these things my way. So row machines are probably going to start popping up on my ads and everything. And especially where I'm resisting it so much. So life is probably going to throw at me a rowing machine, and it's probably going to be some good deal, and some way, somehow, if this is meant to happen, it will end up in my shopping cart. But it probably won't happen at this time of my life because in my season of life right now, 50 minutes is just out of out of question because if anything, if I'm going to spend 50 minutes doing something, I want to get back to half marathon training. And so 50 minutes I'm probably going to spend on running unless something happens that I have to be sort of like at home and I have 50 minutes of time and I'm in a off season where I want to do low intensity. Maybe I will get injured. I'm just not sure. Okay, rowing. Now I'm trying to visualize because one of the things that really piqued my interest was injured runners. So I'm thinking here, okay, rowing machine, that might not hurt so much if somebody twisted an ankle. It's more lower back, upper body, right? What about these resistance band training? I may go a little bit further. So we have somebody doing a visual of an exercise called extenders. So I'm looking at this and of course, I'm thinking injury now. I'm seeing this person do an exercise and they're taking their leg and sort of like lifting, like holding a ball, but it's an invisible ball. So they're up to the right above their head and driving their hands down in their opposite leg towards the middle of their body, and they're putting pressure on their opposite the stable leg. Which now I'm thinking, is that really going to work for an injury? I don't know. Let's see what the next one is. Walking on the legs. I'm not so sure. Maybe that the inchworm they're calling it, that might work. Okay. Mountain climbers here. Again, you see, if you're watching this online as I'm showing it on YouTube, there's a lot of pressure on those feet. So I'm not sure that would be good for an injury. It depends on the injury though, right? Squats, lunges. So these are the same exercises. Side plank with a twist, okay? So these are all exercises that already exist out there. So from what I'm thinking, what I could do without a row machine, I guess if I'm in a pinch, I'm already doing these things. So for me, I'm already doing LIT, sort of, just not the official 50 degrees, 72 degree, 50 minutes, 72 degrees with the row machine, with a foam roller, warm up, cool down. I'm not doing that. So this is my research. This is what I do when I go and say, okay, let me try something new. Let me go figure out LIT. Again, if you'd like to jump up and add your experience to LIT, maybe your experience doesn't include a row machine. Maybe it does other things. Maybe you don't even do it 50 minutes. I'd be very interested in your experience with LIT. Or just reach out to one of our social platforms and let me know what you think about it. But yeah, this is good. I'm not super like, whoa, I got to go out there and do a LIT program. What I think is, let's see if they do mention this. I think what would be cool is for somebody who does HIIT to mix it with LIT. I may suggest something like that. But I may modify this and try to, I wouldn't know how to modify it than what I'm already doing. So for me, I'm practically doing it, just maybe not 50 minutes long. 600 to 1,000 calories with 50 minutes of exercise. And I believe the range is because you get to decide the intensity. So you decide the pace and the intensity of each exercise, but it's got to be 50 minutes long so far based on two things that I've read. So very interesting. Now I'm glad I have this off my mind. So now I'm going to release it out there. Actually, I'm parking it in my waiting room. If you hear me talk, I talk about the emergency room concept, which is like an emergency room. I let ideas or beliefs or whatever, which are the patients coming into the emergency room, I open up the emergency doors, allow them to come in and check in. So the ideas are checking in, and I kind of either decide, am I going to look at this now, or am I going to park it in the waiting area? And then I'll go research it when the time comes. And then once I've done my research, then I make an assessment. Either maybe go park it back in the waiting room, or sort of like come back for a future appointment with me, or I let it go and just say okay, and let the world either send it back to me, and if it comes back because it has the same symptoms or whatever, it becomes persistent, then I'll have to take a look at it. But I can almost see how this is going to play out in my life in the future. But we'll see how it goes. So there we go. That's the inside for today. I'll be here again tomorrow. I should be able to do this at 2:00 tomorrow, and yeah, we'll see what life brings for me from now to the next time we talk. And again, this is open forum. Feel free to jump up here, but I'm just kind of sharing my journey with health and fitness. And yesterday, again, I talked about going to McDonald's and the mindset there. And then today, I decided that I want to see if there's something with this L.I.T program that I keeps coming up in my mind, and it comes across different things as I go through my days. So that's it. This is the fun. This is the journey that I get to take every single day. Learn something new every day. Yesterday we learned about kids going to how teaching kids in school about counting calories is actually the research shows that based on that article that we read, that it's creating self-awareness issues with kids, and what my thoughts were on that. So you could go check that out yesterday. I apologize, YouTube, for yesterday. My battery died on my computer, so the feed cut out right away. But today I made sure my computer was plugged and ready to go. I thought I had enough energy yesterday, but obviously not. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. That's the inside for today. I'll be here tomorrow around 2 p.m. Eastern to do this again. We'll see what comes up. Try to do this every day because Our health and fitness is with us all the time, 24/7, whether we're sleeping, awake. Health and fitness is always there. All right. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.